Welcome back to Life on Two Wheels. It's been a while, and I'm here to explain what I've been doing in December and why you're probably not going to hear from me much until March. So I went downtown and I picked up materials for the Ontario bar exams, which I've undertaken to write. And boy, that is going to keep me busy every single moment of every day. I've got to be studying. So that means no fooling around with YouTube or blogs or anything like that. So don't fear that I've dropped off the face of the earth. I've just been, you know, busy looking after business. Here's downtown Toronto. That's City Hall, and you know, it's right in the core. There's the skyline, and right over here is the Law Society, where I hope to become a member if I succeed in passing those bar exams. Picking up those materials, you know, was a little bit of a pain. I'm not sure if I'm the lion or the lamb in this scenario. I rather suspect I'm the lamb, but I'm going to take this challenge on as if I were the lion. So there's my Vespa, hauling the stuff back home. And you know, that was the highlight. At least I didn't need banker's boxes and a hand truck to get those materials from the Law Society back to my office. I guess that's the upside, to the extent that there's an upside. After I picked up those materials, it was time to ship off to Montreal on December 15th because I had a board meeting. And the weather in Montreal was nowhere near as clement as the weather in Toronto.
On a super bleak day, December 15th, 2017, here I am back in the city of Montreal, where I spent my entire life, and I am at the Faculty of Law of the University of Montreal in the boardroom, and those are all the past deans, overseeing the work we're going to be doing here today. I feel quite honored. This is truly a privilege. Unfortunately, you don't get to see what goes on here. Did I tell you I was writing a book? Yeah, I'm writing a book. And on my floor here, you know, you wouldn't know that I had a filing system. You'd think that I was just filing by angle. But that's the nature of the beast. So I'm kind of a little bit stir crazy. It's December 21st, it's the winter solstice, and so it's the longest day of the year. No, it's the shortest day of the year. You can tell I'm not an astronomer. All right, so it's the winter solstice, shortest day of the year. I just finished proofreading the end of my book. I must have read it like 4 or 5 times. I'm fed up with it. I can't look at it anymore. I still have to pick some fonts for the cover page. And so far I tried a kind of a modern casual font that got, you know, poo-pooed by a graphic designer I know, and she suggested, oh, you know, you need something a little bit more formal, you need a serif font. So I went to a nice formal serif font, and I just got a comment from somebody else saying, well, it's too formal, it's too, you know, it's a dry subject, it's records management. And you put like a formal font on there? No. So anyway, I needed a distraction. And the distraction is that I got a call or an email today from my law firm. They're moving and they've got books they don't know what to do with. They were going to recycle them. And I found out about that. I requested pictures of the bookshelf, and they sent me those photos. I went through all the books and I selected like, you know, 2 or 3 titles that I think are vital for my practice. So what am I going to do? It's -4 degrees Celsius outside, so pretty bloody chilly, but it's not snowing. And can you see? So it's not, how do you show people what's going on outside? It's not snowing. There, you see the driveway. There's no snow, there's no ice, even though it's bitterly cold. So we're going to do that crazy thing. We're going to hop in the Vespa and go pick up a bunch of boring old law books. come along, I think you'll enjoy this. So this is what you call suffering for your art. And you know, the good news is that in Toronto on December 21st, unlike Montreal, there's no snow. But the weather forecast is calling for a snowstorm this afternoon at about 4 o'clock. Anyway, you know, I'm thinking I can dodge that bullet. Otherwise I wouldn't be here on my Vespa. So here's the Vespa. As it's sitting there idling, the heated grips are getting nice and toasty warm. Here is the treasure trove of legal books, and I got more law books hidden down there on the in the passenger well. They're going to be toasty warm on the way home, and so there's nothing left to do but set out and head home before the weather gets ugly. So here we are, dear friends. It's a day later, and somehow you can see that my bookcase here, such as it is quite full. And the next challenge is going to be to find a home for the two giant bags of books that I picked up, including this book here. This book is one of the seminal books in Canadian law, particularly for commercial lawyers. I'm so stoked that I have this book. So there you go. It's got to fit in here somewhere. Anyway, I'll figure it out. It can't take over my inkwell collection either. Yeah, I'll figure it out. So it's a day later, December 22nd, and fortunately, yesterday was the day that I decided to, I was going to say hot-foot it downtown on my trusty Vespa, but the fact of the matter is I was quite chilled when I got home. You know, in spite of heated grips and the thermoscud and all those great things, you still get kind of chilled. But my book is with my team of trusty editors. There's my book. Ha! It's nice to accomplish something, and hopefully it's not crushingly insomnia-inducing boring. We'll see. As soon as I was done writing my book, or at least getting it off to the editors, it was time to get my Christmas shopping done. And, you know, that put me kind of last minute-ish, December 22nd, 23rd, 24th. You got to know that Susan's birthday is on the 24th, and so, you know, the stakes couldn't be higher. You know, Christmas plus her birthday. I had to get that job done and make sure that when she opened her gifts on Christmas morning, she was going to be a happy camper. And just like that, it's Christmas morning. And then it snowed and snowed and snowed. So here we are. It's January 9th, and the mess on my floor has been cleaned up. There's a few other little changes. I wasn't able to get all those books on the bookshelf, only that one book on opinions in commercial transactions that I mentioned to you. And you can see it's a little bit dark outside. I've been studying all day long like a very diligent guy. And I've got a cold, so there's my box of Kleenex. And there's all the used Kleenex and you know, miscellaneous discarded papers there. I'm no longer working on my book. My book is that you see here is off to actually, I'm still waiting for a couple of editors' comments to come in, but basically it's going to be ready, certainly for the course I'm teaching in Vancouver in April. And this is what it looks like to study for a bar exam. It's really a challenge. I've got to get through all of these. I mean, it may not look so much in the video, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 binders, chock-a-block full of information, about 2,000 pages in all. And I've got to regurgitate that, as I mentioned, in 14 hours of exams. So that's why you're not going to see much of me.
You know, some of you will say, well, thank heavens, because we weren't enjoying seeing that much of you to begin with. Oh, right. Before I leave you, remember I said I needed an office microwave? Well, there's that little puppy right there. Doesn't it fit nicely underneath my printer? So it's my printer microwave wine fridge. Every office should have one. And here are the books that I rescued from the law firm library, right down there, some of them over there. And so I'm basically a happy camper. I'd be happier if I didn't have to spend about 10 or 11 hours a day for the next 2-3 months getting ready for those exams. Anyway, you know, if I get a chance, I will come back to you with another episode. I've still got that 5-0 in the 6th that is certainly still not ready for prime time. Hey, you probably think, what a liar, man, he hasn't got anything on those Toronto cops. But the fact of the matter is I do. But it's not going to be anywhere near as interesting as Michael Wolff's Fire and Fury in the White House book. I can guarantee you that. So let's hope that all of this, I managed to get all of this done, like this brave fellow that's been my companion for 30 or 40 years that I snapped off of a billboard in downtown Montreal like ages ago. So take good care, and you know, even if I'm not going to be producing that much, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Life on Two Wheels.